Hello, everyone, and welcome. Oh my goodness, I can't believe I just kicked this. Okay, great. We're started. It is the full moon in Libra this weekend, and we're going to talk about all the feng shui to make this incredibly amazing. If you have questions, I'll answer them at the end or leave them below if you're watching the replay. I really love coming on here live and doing these. It's been so much fun to get to know more of you. It's been so much fun to be able to do these moon notes live. I do these. I send out moon notes for every single moon, feng shui for every single moon. And I don't often get the opportunity to do that stuff here. So doing these has been incredible. And I love your feedback. And please keep sending questions, everything that you need. I'm here for you. This moon is incredibly amazing. This moon is so inspiring. This moon is the kind of balance that brings life to life. This moon is nearly a supermoon. Some people say it's a supermoon. Some people say it's not a supermoon. It's the 28th Sunday. If you're watching this after that, you will still be able to benefit from all of these themes of balancing your life and balancing sort of the internal messaging going on inside you and around you in your space, so that the messaging outside and the messaging inside is all empowering. So a lot of times we walk around with ideas that we need to either suffer to be successful, do things that we don't like to do, put ourselves and our life on hold for the sake of accomplishing things. How many of you feel like you have been putting yourself kind of not just last, but till much later, till a magic day arrives where you no longer have responsibilities, or some other magic day arrives where you have everything else is sorted out and you can finally just be yourself and be happy? And so living that way, that version of success where you sacrifice to achieve, where you push yourself to the limits, where you're stressed all the time, where you're freaking out to know that you're actually giving enough, all of that old paradigm stuff is like no longer for us. If you have any of that in your life, it's time to kick that to the curb. All the things, the ways that you're hard on yourself are about to be dissolved in the light of the moon. Now, they're not going to be completely dematerialized and dissolved. You're still going to have to be aware of them. However, this is the time where you just say, okay, I have officially had enough of being my own enemy, or I've officially had enough of living in this way where I get to be happy later. Now, this is about now. When you're happier, you're more successful. When you're happier, the space around you glows. When the space around you glows, you feel stronger. When you feel stronger, you do more. You make more changes that are positive. You take creative risks. You love bigger. You attract all the things that you want into your life. But even though we can say those words like, oh yeah, I'm going to vibrate higher and bring all these things into my life, you can say it and say it and say it. But if you're really of the mind and the belief that you have to suffer or struggle or work incredibly hard to the point where it's just, it's almost painful in order to deserve success or love or anything else, you're probably not going to trust in the idea that more happiness, more balance is actually going to be successful, right? You'd be like, oh no, I'm not going to relax right now. I'm going to lose my edge. I'm not going to dial things down right now. I'm not going to take extra time for me. That's a luxury. I don't have that luxury. I need to just keep powering through and powering through and powering through. And I get it, because I did that for most of my life, and it made me really sick. It made me really tired. It didn't make me successful, and it made me miserable. And if you feel any of those things, even in the smallest amount, or frustrated, or waiting for life to happen, waiting for the time where you get to shine, waiting for the time you get to be fulfilled, the time is always now. And if you can just take that leap of faith that if you feel better and you're happier and you're more balanced, that you'll be more successful. And just trust that enough to actually do it without guilt, to eliminate the extra stuff without guilt from your life. It's going to open up so much energy. It's so worth the experiment. So, to begin with this full moon in Libra is all about balance on every level. And as I said, this internal sort of paying attention to what you're paying attention to. What are your thoughts? If you're self-criticizing, if you're pressuring yourself, if you're pushing yourself, if you're struggling and forcing constantly, if you're trying to be perfect and trying to optimize yourself too much. How many of you do too much wellness stuff to try to optimize yourself and it doesn't even feel good and you can't stand doing it and you're doing it because you feel like you have to? All that stuff done. It's time to enjoy life a lot more. So this is the big success strategy of the year. Now, to get into the feng shui of it deeper, we'll start with home and then we'll come back to these principles in life. In your home, strive for more balance. Strive for a feeling that you are in a space that is a sanctuary, which is quite a simple concept, but it has profound implications. So walk into each room and ask yourself, can I do what I want to do in this room? How does this room feel to me? This is my living room. This is the room where I want to relax. I want to watch TV. I want to listen to music. I want to talk to my family and my friends and all of this stuff. If that's the purpose of your living room and your living room feels really dull and maybe heavy, then maybe it's time to add more color to your living room. Get some flowers, bring in some brighter music, add more of that opposite energy to balance it, right? Move into the next room. Maybe your bedroom is really bright and really bold, and maybe you don't sleep well or it doesn't feel that inviting. And the main thing that you're working on right now is your sleep. Maybe it's time to pull some of the colored pillows from that bed, throw them in the living room where you want more color, and tone everything down and make it softer in your bedroom. So look at how you can balance each space based on how you use it. So it will just feel better to you. Very basic, and just play around a little bit. See what you come up with. There's no one right or wrong way to do this. The other thing for every full moon is full moons are releases of energy. And if you want to really release anything that does not belong, start with some house cleaning. And I say this for every single moon, house cleaning is epic. Now, one thing I will say, it's great to do some house cleaning this weekend before the full moon, but a great thing to do, and I'm going to grab a glass so I can show you, is to make some moon water. So you can fill up a glass or a mason jar with water. I have a video on my channel about how to do this. I will link it below, but essentially you're going to put a glass full of water, put a lid on it of some sort, like I'll put a piece of paper over this or put a lid on a mason jar, hold it in my hands and set an intention that the moon's energy is going to be absorbed into this water. And then I'm going to place it outside where it will be under the full moon this weekend. And I'll leave it out there for the weekend. I'll bring it back inside and I will have my energetically infused moon water. And you can use this for all kinds of things. The video elaborates even further that I'll link below later. But the key to this moon water is that you have all of the energy that is of the theme of the moon. So in this case, we have this dynamic balance that opens up your life to more possibilities and abundance. How awesome is that? It's the season of abundance right now in Feng Shui in my world, and the Cash Camp is open. And when I post this, I'll link the link to check out the Cash Camp below, because it's this once a year wild abundance immersion. But the idea of having this water intentionally infused with energy and then using it around your home so that even after the moon, you have these themes, this energy, this reminder that you're going to stay more open-hearted. You're going to be more balanced. You're going to feel better. You're going to lean into a new paradigm, perhaps, that when you feel better, you are more successful, which is have proven to be true by science time and time and time again. So you can use this water to clean your house. You can use this water. You can add it. For instance, if I make a glass like this, I will pour it into a bucket to use in addition to my mopping water. I will also sometimes pour it into my bath and take a bath with it during the week after the full moon to keep bringing all those messages and lessons and all those good vibes into the bath. You can even make a room spray out of this by putting it in a spray bottle, and you don't even have to add anything. You could literally just spray the water. You could spray it on your plants. You can spray it around your house. That is full of all this moon energy. Super simple, incredibly powerful, costs nothing, all the best things, and fun. You might even want to look at how you can bring more of a sense of your own openness, creative openness to space. So oftentimes we can get caught up in the idea that your space needs to always be perfect, perfectly clean, perfectly arranged in order for it to be good for you or good feng shui. But my favorite homes are lived in. So if you don't feel like you've been living in your home, if you feel like you've been kind of tiptoeing around your home or trying so hard to keep it perfectly clean that you're not doing the things that you want to do, I want you to embrace a bit of creative mess. And that might seem crazy to hear me say, but again, this is about shattering all that pressure of perfection and getting into your true self-expression. So creative mess can be your craft projects that you're working on a table that you're actively working on. It can be a little art studio you set up in a room or in the garage. It can be a fantastic pile of books that you're doing research in that you have stacked up beside your desk. Not perfect, but so inspiring. The idea of this is it's not perfect. It's so inspiring. It's like, have you ever tried to cook and keep it completely neat at the same time you're cooking? It's not that fun. It's much more fun for me, at least, to grab things and to grab spices and to start moving things around and piling up dishes and not stopping every 2 seconds to have to do a chore. I like to be in the flow of actually cooking something, and then afterward, I'll clean everything up. Having that freedom, being in that flow creatively in your space, live in your home. If you don't feel like you've been living in your home, adding more balance, doing some cleaning, clearing, opening, and then really living in your home is going to make you feel at home, because that's what it's all about. So the next aspect of this moon, this can be really energetically a whole big expansion, a whole level of expansion for you, is to affirm your greatness and put that greatness all around you. So for instance, if we've talked about how this moon, this Libra full moon, has lots of this ideas of your internal, your thoughts, the way that you talk about yourself. So if you are self-critical, if you are really trying to be perfect or pushing yourself really hard to be successful, we already discussed how it's time to quit that during this full moon weekend. It's time to trust a little more that you can be happier and do more things that make you happy. But you may still have those thoughts come up of, I should be doing more, I should be working harder, I'm not worthy, I'm not enough, whatever it is. And if you feel that stuff come up, it's time to, as my friend Geneva says, say cancel, cancel. So whenever I feel any of that stuff come up for me, because that was my whole way of living for so long, whenever I start telling myself I should be doing more, I should be working harder, I should stay up later, I should do all this stuff, I'm like, cancel, cancel. And then once I cancel it, then I have whatever affirmation I'm working with. And this could be totally, you could use a different one every time if you want. but repeat a positive affirmation. So about you, that you believe about you, like, I am so creative and so talented. I am so much a magnet for love and abundance. I am whatever it is that really resonates with you. Affirm it out loud and start practicing that. One of the reasons why we have so many messages that we pick up that are not helpful and so few messages that we pick up automatically from the universe that are helpful is because we've been accumulating all this judgment and stuff for so long, right? We've picked it up from society. We see it on Instagram. We see it all over the place, how we should be, how we should look, how we should talk, how we should live, how we should work, what we should choose, how much money we should have, what our priorities should be, especially for women, but for men too. There's so many expectations that are completely based upon nothing to do with you. But yet we absorb these things to one degree or another. And if you find yourself repeating them, it's because they've been repeated to you over and over and over again. So while you can make this big, grand decision that you're going to be easy on yourself from now on, you're going to put your happiness as a priority. Now, as you move through your day and you hear that stuff come up, when you actively repeat an affirmation in place, when you say cancel, cancel, when you start hearing yourself say work harder, stay up later, cancel, cancel. I am so healthy and so balanced, and this is how I succeed. I am a magnet for love and abundance, and I don't need to do anything that messes with my love and abundance. Whatever it is that is affirmational to you. So write down an affirmation or a few of them, and don't just write it down and stick it in a drawer or something like that. Actually place them around your house. Put one at your desk, put one in your bedroom, put one in your bathroom, put them all over the place, put one in your car so that you see these affirmations. Sometimes I have people put them in their wallet. So you see these things all the time and you are reminded, yes, I'm going to affirm my greatness. I'm going to affirm my greatness. So just the same way that we've had all this stuff seep into us that we didn't ask for from other people and from society that doesn't seem helpful, we can do the same thing in a positive way for ourselves. So sprinkle that stuff all around your house. And while you're at it, the final thing I'm going to give you for this moon that you can do is to sprinkle more energy throughout your house that captures the vibe of your affirmation. For instance, if you're all about more love and abundance, maybe in every room you have a candle that smells like you have all your favorite scents of candles and you put one in each room so that you see that love sprinkled around your house. Maybe you have plants that you love that are symbolic to you and you can put them in every room of your house in a special place that reminds you of all the growth that you're having. You see what I mean? So you can sprinkle this around or just sprinkle those notes around and it will be amazing and so supportive. So this moon is a deep one, especially if you're like me and you have spent a lot of time really convincing yourself or being convinced that you are as good as everything that you achieve. You are great without any achievements. You don't have to achieve anything to justify how awesome you are. Just be awesome now. And let this be the moon that opens up a whole next level of that awesomeness for you. I am so excited for this moon ahead. If you have questions, anything that you need, feel free to leave it here. I'm so glad to hear, Ranji, that this channel has improved your life in many ways. You are made my day. I'm so grateful. I love sharing this in any way that it resonates with you, that you can use it. Thank you all so much for being here, and we'll be back for the next moon. And I'm going to start posting videos in the interim. There's lots of videos I have queued up to start putting out for everyone. So stay tuned. If you haven't yet, subscribe because there's so much to come. And thank you so much for being here. Happy full moon weekend. Mwah. Bye, everyone.